Hello and welcome to Robinsunne Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. So I've been working on a journal and I'll do a quick little flip through, although I'm having a lot of fun here. So this journal was made out of a manila envelope, and this is the top of the envelope, the place where you can get into, and the back cover, which you can't see because it's all covered up, is the bottom of the envelope. So the envelope was like this, which makes it a, like almost a 9 by 12 ish. And what I did was, instead of just scoring it down the middle, I scored a couple of notches to either side of middle to make this 3/4 inch spine, because I knew I was going to put a flip-lope on the inside and a journal on the inside, and I just wanted room for lots of stuff, so I made a spine. So this yellow back here is a spray ink, a copy of a spray ink paper. It's actually a copy of the original paper cut that I just put on the photocopier and copied. And then this is a paper cut. This is really cool. It's almost hard to see, but I decided that I kind of liked that. And because a paper cut is being on the cover and I put some other things on too, I think I'm going to Mod Podge. I'm going to try that. I don't usually do that, but I really don't want the paper cut to do that. To sort of, every time you move your hand across it, something will come up off it. So I think I'm going to do that when I'm completely done with the whole journal. So let's see. Here I made the flap bigger. Sorry, just checking how far away we were. Because I wanted to cut down the opening a little bit. So I wanted the flap to be long enough to for sure cover that. I put a card there, and this was supposed to be a faux stamp, and I still might put how many cents it's worth and put the little cancellation marks and stuff on it. This journal may not be done for quite a long while. I might just keep adding stuff to it, but just to go through it. This is a manifesto paper in like a 12-point print, and this is the same manifesto, I'm pretty sure, done in 5-point print. I just took the manifesto and kept copying and pasting it until I filled the whole page, because this manifesto filled one page, but then when I pulled it down to 5-point, it's only like this big, so I just kept copying and pasting it down the page. I put a paper cut over the top, and I really like how that looks. I love the juxtaposition of the texture between the fine point. It's much grayer, and the this is much more legible, so it comes off as black and white, but this isn't so legible and it comes off as gray, and I really like that. That's very cool. And these are 2 hand-drawn cards. Pretty much everything in this journal is a design of my own, and I've been leaning towards that in the last, 6 months or something. And I'm realizing that that's really important to me. I really like making this bold color statement of whatever it is that happens to be inside me on that day. And some days I like the art that I make better than other days, but I just I just really like having these journals, these books that say this is me, the artist, and this is what I think and what I do and what I'm capable of. And yeah, I love having these statements. So these are, I took the little postcards that you've seen me make, like this, and I enlarged them to be basically half a sheet of paper, of cardstock. And I was going to use them as journaling cards, but I'm putting some ornamentation on the back too, because that's really pretty and I really like it. And it's also fun to put together a little collage. This is actually a another one of these stamps that I made, and this one I did put the cents on, and I could maybe do some cancellation later. So, and this card was yes with a star, and this one is enjoy. So these go in this front pocket, and cards, and this is a little notebook full of, they're just cut-offs of pages, but I decided to make a little notebook out of them. And this says, "You are loved and safe." And I made this pocket out of not tissue paper, not vellum, tracing paper. This is a paper that's in one of my kits, my journal kits, on Etsy. And these papers are not on Etsy yet. They will be at some point, maybe sooner than later. I found somebody who can give me a hand getting them up. Another paper cut. So I wanted to put lots of paper cuts on these journal pages because a bunch of these pages are, this is another page from a digital journal kit on my Etsy shop, and that's linked below. Another postage stamp, faux postage. Yeah, all these drawing papers are really pretty and I like them. This paper might also be in one of the kits. It's a different kit than the other one, but yeah. That I made it quite a while ago, and that might already be on Etsy. And I like having lines on my paper. I really enjoy writing on lines. So just lots of little ornaments all through here, more spray inked paper. This is a tracing of a paper cut that I made a video out of when I was teaching how to make these rectangular paper cuts, and I'll try to remember to link that below. And more spray ink pages, more hand-drawn pages, paper cut, and just on and on. Ooh, I got the idea to do this, to put the paper cut right on the crease of the papers. And lots of just little stuff I've had all over my desk. Another paper cut, border paper cut, and a very tall card. I sort of think that these pages that have tons of stuff on them make it hard to write on them, although you probably could write pretty easily between the patterns. But it makes it like this whole thing to be kind of a looking book as well as a writing book. So more and more. This is another tracing of a paper cut. More paper cuts, more spray ink, more faux stamps. Choose love. More paper cut, lots more paper cuts. Missive. So this one has a paper clip because this is the Flip-Elope. And before I forget, I sewed this. That's this signature right here. This is the journal signature, and this is the Flip-Elope signature. So I had the envelope. The base of this is a big envelope, and I had the flap open. I stitched it in, and then I closed the flap, glued it shut, and then I matted it and decorated the page there. So these are 3 envelopes that are matted with both cardstock and some spray ink papers, and they have cards in them, all of which I have made. This is a collage page with paper cuts and spray inked paper and my brown paper, scribble paper, which I have yet to show you how to do. May project. And just more and more little tuck spots and delightful cards. This one I think came out really well. And I'm going to put this paper clip back on because these envelopes flip open really easily. Anyway, I needed some more paper cuts, and thought you could hang out with me while I did a couple. I've got 3 more big postcard, 2 more. I thought I had 3. I do have 3. That's the 3rd. I love this hello image. It's so bold. And I wanted to put some paper cuts on the back of those. So I need some more paper cuts. I'm doing my folds, squishing those folds pretty flat. And this is an oddly shaped paper. We have been having so much wind up here in Maine. I know folks in the south have been having lots of sort of violent rain, and we actually have not gotten very much precipitation. We didn't have much snow this winter. We hardly had any at all. I remember winters that could last for 5 months up here. And the real winter lasted from maybe the middle of January to, I don't even know if it lasted to March. It lasted for like 6 weeks. So I've heard some people talk about the weather patterns, and this is the United States. I'm not as aware of weather across the world, although Australia had their fires. And anyway, that weather patterns are playing off the emotions and fluctuations of human experience on the planet. And the George Floyd trial just ended, and although his trial, God bless the man, has ended, certainly the racial violence in the United States hasn't. So we've got a ways to go yet. And oh, look, that's kind of pretty. Can you even see that? So I will put that somewhere. And I still have a little bit more time. Remember I made these a couple of videos ago, these wide border. Let's try to do that here. This is double-sided origami paper that I bought on Amazon without kind of reading the package label clearly enough. And I'm not actually as fond of double-sided as I am. It makes this yellow a little less brilliant. Well, that's a copy of it, but this is the yellow of white on the back origami paper. And this one's, you can tell, is a little darker because it's got purple behind it. So I like the single-sided origami paper better. Oh, what have I been doing? That would be fun. Yeah, so anyway, I was talking about the weather. Sometimes we have day after day after day of really in your face wind. I mean, it's not like we don't get wind in Maine. We do. I'm about a mile from the ocean. But this has been a lot of wind. There have been days when I was kind of worried that it was going to blow open a door or something. Or blow tiles off the roof. It's kind of interesting in the spring going out and seeing what the winter did. Anyway, my house is, thank you, in good shape after this winter, and I think a lot of that's just because we've not had a particularly in-your-face winter. It's a little weird, isn't it? You know, watching weather change. I've only lived in Maine for about 35 years. And I have noticed the change just since I first arrived. I remember driving through, I don't know, foot and a half of snow. And that, I mean, first of all, I don't have the lifestyle that demands that I be driving at 10 o'clock at night through a foot and a half of snow, but the way I did 35 years ago. But we don't even, I mean, certainly this year we don't get snows like that. We had snows like that for the last couple of years. I mean, at least one per season, and we didn't even get that this year. So I think about climate change and I think, oh, so this is like it. And it can be a little startling to think we're living in that climate change that people have been saying is coming for years, and it's happening so fast. 2 years ago we had major snows throughout the winter, and winter lasted maybe 3 or 4 months, 3 months, 3.5 months of snow. And yeah, really, we had like 6 weeks of snow this year. So it's interesting, it's challenging to be in the middle of the change and think there's a way through this. Oh, I was going to do a wide rats. Anyway, that's kind of pretty. It's like energy waves coming out from the center. Do I even have time to do this? Yes, I do. So we'll do a smaller paper cut in the middle of a big wide band. Anyway, I think the world is asking something from us with all the wind and weather that we're having, and with all of the crises of racism and violence. There are shootings like every day now. Is this okay with us? What do we need to do to wind our way out? Maybe the violence in Missouri or California or Tennessee or Florida or wherever it's all happening, maybe that on a psychic level needs something from me, or maybe it doesn't. I guess I sort of lean towards it does. But I think it's legit to have the belief system that it doesn't, that I'm only responsible for my own backyard. But this is my own backyard, and my own backyard didn't get enough rain and snow. It didn't get enough precipitation. That's gonna make my well be different. It's gonna make my lawn be different. It's gonna make the trees grow differently. I just saw a sign at the local food co-op that I can't remember the name of the moth. It's a hairy moth, a furry moth. I can't remember the name of it, but it's they have these hairs on their bodies that they shed, and then that makes, if it gets on a human skin, it's very irritating, and it makes these terrible rashes. So apparently those moths, and I'm guessing the ticks, didn't get killed off by the normal amount of freezing weather, which is supposed to happen every year, and we didn't have, like 5-6 months of freezing weather. So it means all the bug populations are going to be up, and then there's going to be more food for the birds, and the bird populations are going to go up, and then there are going to be more big birds and more, I don't know who else are the predators of birds. But it's going to have a rolling effect here in Maine. The weather is going to change who and how beings live in Maine. Yeah, that doesn't have enough stuff in it. So yeah, what's my part? And because this is the age of COVID still, maybe what's my part on a psychic level? There's a limit to how much I am willing to go outside and do something or other. March up and down streets or whatever. So, yeah, things are asking for my participation. Or maybe it's okay that there are... Yeah, see, that's better. I like that. All right. What's my part? What's my part? What's your part? What's our part? What can you and I do together? And how does art mix into the effort that I need to put forth as a social being? I haven't figured out all of this stuff. This is just questions that are coming up for me today because the wind is blowing really hard. The blessing I have for us today is, may these winds of obvious change all of us for the better, for the stronger, for the more courageous, and ultimately for the more powerful. And I don't mean power over, I mean power from within. Thank you, Starhawk. So yes, may we become our powerful inner spiritual selves. And those diamond blessings go out across the world. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.